Oh, you know that is Seven Hills Worship. We're different here on V180. You're with Leah, and we've got the girls upstairs.
Hello.
Yeah, Grace is back. She's back with us again for the day. We've got Gwen here too.
I'm here too.
Yeah.
I never left. I live here.
That's right. Well, it feels like that, doesn't it, sometimes?
It does.
But hey, ladies, it's so good to have you guys in the studio with me. We've got plenty on the way for everybody out there, and we're going to be talking all things... I mean, not all things marriage. It's marriage week.
Mm-hmm.
But, look, considering more than half of us here aren't actually married,
Yes.
we're going to be talking more things about maybe relationships or the singleness.
I was going to say, we're not in relationships either, Leah.
Well, that's true too. But look, just because we may not be married doesn't mean we don't have opinions. So we're going to do that and stick around for some good times and great chats coming up next. And let's get back into it now. You're on V180. You're with Leah and the girls upstairs. Now, ladies, it is marriage week.
Aww.
Yeah. And look, it's a week that we're celebrating all things marriage, families, children, and all the lovely parts of having a nice healthy home and a nice, healthy society and a good biblical, foundations that support all things marriage. But reality is not all of us are married.
Mm-hmm.
And that's sad for the marriage hopefuls out there. But we're going to talk more about that sort of stuff. But Gracie, you've got a verse for us to ponder.
Look, let's get right into it. Marriage, from Colossians 3:17 to 19. And whatever you do in word or deed, do everything in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God the Father through him. Wives, submit to your husbands, as is fitting in the Lord. Husbands, love your wives and do not be harsh with them. No.
That's nice. But what if you don't have a husband?
Well, you go to the verses around it.
I love it.
And
You really just threw her under the bus
whatever
there.
you do, do heartily as for the Lord and not for men, knowing from the Lord you will receive your inheritance as the reward. You are serving the Lord Christ.
And that comes from?
Colossians 3, 23 to 24.
Woo!
Beautiful.
That was good, Grace.
You
Nice.
really threw me under the bus.
I did. I figure I've been giving you too much time to prep
That's
lately,
true.
so
Hey,
that
Grace.
was just for you.
Thank
Well
you.
done.
Thank
well
you.
done. Well, of course, it is marriage week, and marriage is a beautiful thing, and we are going to talk more about it and relationships and everything else in between. So do stick around for some great discussions here today. But we're going to get back into the music now. We've got Safika and Heights with Set Me Free here on V180. You're with Leah and the girls upstairs.
You.
And it is marriage week this week. And so that is what is, it's a special week to, that both Vision and V180, where it's a celebration to promote the importance of marriage and increase awareness and the value of pre-marriage and in-marriage education and all those sorts of lovely, lovely things. But reality is not all of us are married, and that's quite okay as well. But I think we're all in agreement that dating culture is whack.
Psychotic.
Oh, man. Is it what?
Oh, boy.
Whoa. What is going on?
I've got the tea for you. I found this lady's post about some of the standards that she requires of men before they'll take her on a date.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She's got a list of demands. All right, y'all ready for it?
Okay.
Let's go. Before you ask me on a date, just know I'll only agree to lunch or dinner depending on my schedule, and you'll have to provide the following first. $50 for gas. I refuse to ride with you in case I want to leave. $50.
I understand the wanting to go to yourself.
Yeah.
I understand that, but you're not going to be getting $50. No, that is rude.
It gets better.
Better or what?
Oh, yeah. $75 to $100 for a babysitter, or you could pay for 2 more meals.
Wait, she has kids?
I don't know. That wasn't really specified.
I assume.
Yeah.
It's for my cat.
Yeah. Meow. $100 for a Sheen haul. I need to be able to try on a few options for our date. Mm-hmm. And $100 for my toes. No need to worry about my nails since I don't get them done anyways. Yes, you will be paying for the whole date. No, I won't be with you that night.
Fair
and
enough.
the second date will depend on how well you tip our server. If this is too much, then I'm not for you. I live my life like this, and if you can't, then please leave me alone. Ladies, am I missing anything else?
A group on reality? Oh my goodness.
What were
no.
the comments on this thing?
Bro.
That's like over $500, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm trying to do the math over here.
Nice.
I can't really math.
And
but
wait,
Well, at least 300.
Okay, and let me just ask. This woman is not married.
Yeah, I think
I
so.
wonder why.
Shocking.
I doubt she can even get a date. Oh my goodness.
Wow. Oh no.
But I want to know, do you guys have any standards for a date? Like if a guy asked you out, are there any firm ones that you're like, yes, you have to do this?
I mean, nothing terribly crazy like that. Like I'm not expecting them to fill my car,
Yeah.
For me to go out with them. But like, I mean, I guess if someone's nice enough and you're vibing and having a good chat and good time, excuse me, like, I don't know. Like I'm old school to a degree where it's like, don't expect too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, but if I say
That's old school now.
old school now, like if I say I'm going to be there, I'll be there.
Yeah.
But like I'm not really expecting anything, especially if it's a first date.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
that's kind of harsh.
That's when you're setting expectations.
Exactly. And it's like if that's the expectations that she's straight up putting out there, I think that's a little concerning.
Yes.
Because he doesn't even know any, like, I don't know. Like if I was the guy in that situation, I'd be like, nah.
Red flag.
No way.
Red
Because
flag.
if that's what's expected from a first date, can you imagine what the rest of the relationship was going to look like?
Yeah.
No thanks.
That's a good point.
How about
Tapping
you,
out
Gwen?
now.
I haven't really been on that many dates. I don't even know. I mean, I feel like it's all like the normal, like if they, pay for dinner or something like
Yeah.
that. But
That's
that being said,
nice.
I wouldn't expect it.
Yes,
Like,
I'd
if-
offer to go 50-50.
I'd offer to split
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Or I'd say, look, I can pay this time and then you can pay next time, sort of
Yeah.
vibe. You know,
Yeah.
like if it's a good date.
Yes.
Yeah.
On that, I respect the little dance.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
you know the little
Yes,
dance that you do,
yes.
even though you're like, it might be a little controversial to some of the feminists or whatever, but it's like, like I don't want to pay.
Yeah.
Like if they've asked me out, like I go preparing to pay just
Yes.
in case.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting them to. But
Right.
if they, but you still do the dance.
But
it's polite.
It's an
polite.
opportunity for the guy to show that he can provide for you.
Exactly. Is that not the whole point of dating?
Yes. Well, I actually even went even stricter. Before my now husband could even ask me out on a date, he had to ask my dad for permission.
That's cute. though.
Straight from the start, because then it's father-led. He's gotten to know my family a little bit more, and it's no mucking around. Like I
Yeah.
know that this guy's ready to risk things,
Yeah.
and put a little bit down.
But that's
for
like
this.
intentionally. It's
True,
intentional
true.
dating.
It's not just
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no. So yes,
I like that though.
standards before a date.
Absolutely. And if you've got standards like that, maybe you've got hardcore standards. We want to hear them because
yes.
this is it's a crazy climate that we're living in. Or better yet, have your high standards worked for you?
Ooh, let us know.
Is there any tips for us, the single ones in the room? Who knows?
Yes.
Let us know. Hit us up on the socials, and we want to hear your thoughts. But we're going to keep going with this sort of thread of discussion as we come back from the break. We've got Joseph O'Brien coming up next. You're with Leah and the girls upstairs here on V180. Live and different here with V180. You're with Leah and the girls upstairs.
Yep.
It is marriage week. And so for this, for today, we've dedicated this, our time together to talk about all things, maybe not even necessarily marriage, but marriage, pre-marriage, maybe even post-marriage a little bit, who knows. But as more than half of us in the room here are unmarried or marriage hopefuls, which is okay, it does... it kind of hits a little bit of a nerve, as I imagine it would for some people, also being the oldest person in the room here and still unmarried.
Yeah.
And I can say for myself, for a long time, it did sort of come with a little bit of a sting.
Yeah.
We go, marriage week, but I'm not married. What's in it for me?
Yeah.
You're like, well, marriage is, it's ordained by God. It's a
Yes.
beautiful thing that we're all called to do. But
Yeah.
is that really all there is to your life
Hey, good question.
if you're not married yet?
Yeah, if you're not married yet. Because I think interestingly, I don't think we could use Jesus as an example.
No.
Because, yes, while he was single on earth, his whole motivation is the church, his bride, which he's coming back for next. So I'd think of Jesus as like a engaged kind of figure. But Paul is fantastic because
Yes.
supposedly he was married, but then his wife probably died. And so now he does all his ministry, having gone through marriage and with the experience of marriage. But now he says, I prefer that all of you are like me in being single, because you have that fluidity, you have such a greater opportunity to be able to, I would say, yes, in all honesty, I had so much more time as a single person to do stuff, to honor God, to just be focused. Like I wasn't worrying about someone else's food or dishes or anything else like that. I just had me and myself to worry about and my relationship with God. Yeah. And so, yeah, it's really interesting. Paul's a fantastic example in the Bible about someone navigating singleness.
That's true. That's true. And I guess, like, you know, we're in whatever season you're in, we're called to honor God, you know, and even if it is a pre-marriage season, which may be a little longer than some other seasons, but that's okay. I guess, you know, how do you be faithful in that singleness season or unmarried season, I suppose, you know, like living faithfully and, you know, chasing after whatever ministry that God's put you in. Yeah. You know, how do you remain faithful in that?
Yeah.
And also trusting in God's plan for you and knowing that, you know, someone is coming, or maybe it isn't, like just being, I guess, content in the season and doing things that you need to do. And, you know, like I could easily say, like, you know, I'm one of the single ones over here. Hello. Grace is the only one that's married.
Welcome.
So
I was the worst at this season.
Yeah. Grace was so like straight in. Hello.
Oh, man. It was tough. But yes.
Yeah, I forgot my train of thought. What was I saying?
Being faithful while single.
Yeah, being faithful while single. And being like, I'm the first to say, like, I'm too busy for a relationship now. But like you said, that you find time for it, you know, like it's like it all fits in together with your timing, with God's timing. And but we can still complain.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because there is this like deep drive within us that wants to, you know, pursue a relationship with another person, and we want to be loved and love and do.
It's a good thing.
It's a beautiful thing. Otherwise, God wouldn't have created marriage if we didn't really want that.
Yeah.
You know, but I think I've lost my train of thought now.
No, that's okay. Like thinking about how to be faithful during times of singleness, because it's a fantastic time to. I think the thing I neglected the most during while I was not in a relationship was friendships. Yeah. In all honesty, because you can't really make like you can make friendships and you can make trustworthy friendships and you can grow there, but it's so much more difficult to make friendships while you're dating someone after you're freshly married. When you're about to have a kid, it's so much harder to make friendships then. And then these people haven't seen you go through different phases of life and they don't know what you were like beforehand. So I would say, man, if you don't have like a good set of friends around you right now, people who will call you out on your sin, people who are checking in with you daily, like, try and find some really solid friends. Another one is different ministries. Where can you serve? How can people be serving into your life? Like, that's a great practice as well. Don't neglect this time that you have because God's put you in this time for a reason, for a season. Don't neglect your time without a relationship for sure.
Absolutely. And I think, you know, as you said, in everything, come back to God with it. You know, if because we don't know how long these seasons are when we're in them. Yeah. And sometimes they end and other times
they go on for
sometimes they feel like they do go on for a long time, but it's okay either way because at the end of the day, God's got it.
Yeah.
He knows exactly what's going on in our lives and he knows what's coming at the end of the tunnel too, and that's really quite nice to remember. But we do have to get back into it now. We're going to keep talking about this here on V180 with Leah and the girls upstairs. Leah and the girls upstairs.
Hey!
And it is marriage week this week. And we're talking all things relationships, not necessarily marriage, because, look, half of us here aren't actually married, and that's quite okay if you're not married. No hate.
Shout out to the singles out there.
Yeah.
Single squad.
But we've been talking about all different aspects about relationships, from like dating to you know, just generally what it means to be married. Yeah. And I sort of want to move this discussion into more of a, okay, what does God want out of marriage? Like what's his view of marriage? We go straight biblical. Talk to me.
Okay.
Ladies.
Well, first of all, God sets out marriage very clearly as between one man and one woman, voluntarily entered into for the rest of their lives until death do them part. Because the whole thing about marriage is that it's a picture, like a reflection of Christ's love for the church.
Yeah.
So Christ loves the church eternally. He gave his life for her to pay for her sin. Like the whole point of it is that my marriage is supposed to be almost like a gospel, like illustration of what Christ is doing. Of course, second part of that is kids.
Yeah.
Marriages bring kids around. Wow, imagine that. And so everything that, so you pretty much have that image between one man, one woman for the rest of their lives. Everything outside of that is when marriage starts to fall apart. And you really see that a lot. But yeah, that was the picture of marriage, at least, that set forth what God intends for it.
Absolutely. And I guess, going back to sort of what you said about, like dating, right? And I know we were talking about it in the break, like how many relationships do fall apart when God isn't at the center of them. And I notice, you see it a lot in society, especially in Hollywood, where couples have been together dating forever and then they get married, have a couple kids maybe, and then what it sort of seems like is the honeymoon ends and then they get divorced. You're like, why?
Divorced in like a few months.
Yeah.
It's crazy these days. Yeah.
And you can't, and even though, we don't know the full situation around why these couples are breaking up or whatever, other than the fact that it's devastating. It's so sad seeing families fall apart.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't help but wonder, like, I don't know, where does, I don't even know.
Well, I think a part of it as well, you got to have a good community around you.
Yes.
Like if the community doesn't have the expectation that this is for the rest of your life, they're not going to encourage you to stay together for the rest of your life. And when you're searching for someone, they're not going to be like, hey, are you viewing this person as someone who you could be with for the rest of your life, not just the next 5 years?
Yeah.
Like it's a part and parcel of the people around you.
Absolutely.
And like you said, like that honeymoon phase, like that honeymoon phase can go on for a pretty long time, man. Like that can be a while, like 4 years down the track or 5 years down the track. Maybe you guys are changing, like, because obviously we're changing as we grow up and grow older and stuff. Yeah. And then you'll like start realizing flaws that you didn't realize back then and this, that, and the other. And like, it's something that people need to realize that we're going to grow and change together. Like we don't need to grow and change apart. And I mean, of course there is circumstances where that does happen and we can acknowledge that. But like, I think it's important for people to try and find that coming together and realizing that we're not going to be the same, like maybe 17-year-olds forever. Like we're going to grow up and be together and, like, yeah, I don't know. It's a hard thing to grasp as a kid of like a divorced parents. It's like it's funny to realize like, oh, well, weren't you guys the same then? But like you said, like things happen and you
They do.
Hard.
It does, and it is hard, and it's always devastating to see things like that happen. As you said, similar to myself, my parents went through a divorce later in life though. So I was like 18 when they split, and it was just as hard. Yeah. Just as hard.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky.
It's tough.
I think then too, like witnessing that marriage as in like that was the only real sort of relationship that you get to see is the one with your parents, right? And when you see like dysfunction going on in that relationship, that kind of sets the pace of what you expect going forward too. And I guess when God is kind of removed from that, I would imagine, like so much of my personal identity around, or my personal beliefs around marriage, God's in it. And he has, because he has to be, because he's meant to be, and I can't even fathom how it would be for someone that doesn't know God, right? Was like,
how do you even approach marriage?
Exactly. And I guess if you don't know God and you don't know the importance of marriage and the way that He's created it, of course, there's not going to be that drive to the altar, and you see that happen so much.
But also, like that sort of the same, like one person in the relationship has God and the other doesn't, and then it's like, how we're unequally yoked, guys. Like how one person's going to be like, I want marriage, and the other might be like, oh no, I don't want marriage.
I want to go to church, and the other one's like, I just want to sleep in.
The flirt to convert thing, and it's like, look, I'll be vulnerable. Peeling the curtain back a little bit here. I've dated people that weren't as faith-filled as I would have liked them to have been. Yet, you know, when you're a little bit, I guess, young in your faith and you see the flirt to convert thing, you know, it's a little embarrassing to talk about it now.
No.
But like, you know, I think for most people, you seem to think this is a wonderful person. This is a great person. They've got a great heart, great values, la, 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 la. But reality is, and from my experience, is that like, if they don't love the Lord like you do, it's never going to work. And that's a really tough one to come to and to come to grips with, because it's so frustrating how right everyone is about that. But no, 100%. Like, and then that also comes down to picking your perfect, picking your mate for life.
Just go and pick
my gosh. Well, you know, it's true though. Like, because if you don't have, if you're not with someone that has the same values, if they don't align, it's gonna fall apart.
It's going to fall apart, guys.
It will.
I was the same. But it's also like you said, it's not even like a flirting to converting. Like, you don't even understand you're doing it.
No.
Like, you literally just like, oh, this guy's
They're
great.
a great person.
And he ticks all the boxes.
Yep.
Just accept.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, he's just not a Christian. Like, he ticks everything out, you know? Like, it's fine. He'll come to church and he'll be respectful and this, that, and the other. And he did do that and he was great. But it was like, there was just something that was like missing from it. Like, we couldn't have conversations, or there were things going on with his family that we couldn't bring the Lord into, and you know, and that probably was the same. And it's just like, you're just missing something, and you don't realize what it is until you like open your eyes, like, oh my goodness, like
that's what's missing.
This is what it is. And people would be telling me like, oh, maybe it's not right. Like, I don't think, you know, he's not a Christian, Gwen. And I'd be like, yeah, but he's a great bloke. Like, you've met him. Like, he's great.
Yeah. It's hard, you know, because, and like, when you are a little bit, you know, not to say naive, but young in your Christian walk, I will say, you know, if you haven't lived a lot, or, you know, or maybe you just want to ignore it.
Or you're just in that honeymoon phase, man.
Yeah.
Like, that honeymoon phase.
Exactly.
You will ignore all flaws. All of them.
Absolutely. And you hear people, you know, probably more mature Christians or something, and if you're anything like me, and you see them coming up going, oh, he's not a Christian, you're going to go, nah, he's fine. We can save him. It's fine. He's good. This could be my one shot.
Reading his Bible. Like, you know what? He's asking more questions than me. Like,
he went to church as a kid. Like, and that's not enough.
No.
That's not enough. Don't marry
that's
that guy.
my favorite one. He went to church as a kid. He was baptized. Yeah.
Oh, his grandma's a Christian or something like that. It's like, but if he doesn't have the faith, don't do it. Don't do it.
You're going to hurt yourself.
Save yourself the heartache. Take it from us, the ones that have done it. Don't do it. Oh, man. Anyway, I could go on all day about things like this, because it truly is.
Yeah.
It's tough. But anyway, we're going to keep this discussion going in just a hot minute. Stay with us. You're on B180 with the girls upstairs. Well, friends, you're with Leah and the girls upstairs, and we are flowing through all kinds of crazy conversations today, all around Marriage Week, which is this week. And so that's what the overarching theme of today's show has been about, marriage, relationships. But today, right now we're going to get into the part of marriage that we doth not like to speak of, but it is so common. It's divorce. Divorce. It's horrible.
Yeah.
It actually is horrible.
Yeah.
The amount of people that actually have that many divorces in their life. I was on the Judy Garland train for some reason, and like, she like married like 5 different men. That girl.
No,
I was
what?
like,
give
what?
up.
Yeah. Or maybe 4. I don't know. That was a lot.
I did go to a wedding. I did photograph a wedding, because I used to do wedding photography, where the husband was on his 6th and the wife was on her 4th.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Yeah.
Man.
It's so normalized.
It is. It
so
is.
normalized.
And we kind of joke about it, like, you know, not to shame my mum, but she's on marriage number 3.
Oh, bless her.
And like her second marriage was with my dad.
Yeah.
And they were together for 26 years.
That's a long time comparatively.
It is a long time to be married. And they split when I was 19. I just turned 19.
Right.
And it was very sad.
Yeah.
It was very, very sad.
Yeah.
You know, because my sisters and I, we've got different. My dad is not their dad,
right?
Because my mum was married before,
right?
And so, but in saying that though, they grew up with my dad,
and
and they had their kids,
You
know, he was like Poppy to them, and it was really sad to see that relationship break down,
Yeah,
and like my parents, as much as I love them both dearly, love them both. They were aesthetically a beautiful couple.
Really?
I'm not going to say they made this, but
Congratulations.
Thank you. No,
Someone get her an award.
no, but like I think in retrospect, when you look back at that, the kind of relationship they did have, truly probably shouldn't have gotten married.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
And I think there's a lot of couples out there that rush in, get married without doing either the pre-marriage counselling or whatever, but whatever it is, they shouldn't have done it.
Yeah. Oh, my parents were exactly the same, my friend. Yeah. Beautiful. Love them both. Yeah. But like, my dad's annoying. Anyway, love you, Dad. But like, they just, they didn't work. Hey, it was like arguments central all the time. And so when they split up, I was like, oh, it's quiet. It's good. And but like my grandpa didn't like believe in divorce, so they've just been separated.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. So they're not actually legally divorced. They're just separated. They're like best friends. It's weird. Anyway. But and
they never no,
never signed papers or anything like that, and they've just neither one of them had a new relationship before. They're just
so they've
single
just
in their life.
They've never dated since.
No, I mean I think Mum did a bit of online dating. Sorry, Mum. But not really. No.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's just like there's. Okay, you said premarital counselling.
Yeah.
Please. If you're in a relationship, if you're about 6 months in and you're in a good church, go to your pastors and ask them, because they'll probably have a pre-marriage like checklist of questions that you should be asking one another that they kind of use as the intro to the pre-marriage counselling. Please go and ask them for that, because it's a very convicting checklist. And that will give you an indication if you should keep going in this relationship. Because if you're dating not for the purpose of marriage, you're just wasting time.
Exactly. What are you dating for?
You're putting yourself in the way of sin. You're making it like you're putting yourself in a bit of danger. Like the goal is marriage. Like you're not supposed to just be chilling in this dating period. And I would say get your pastors, get your elders, get godly people in your life involved early from the start, people who will check in, people who are like, hey, how are you guys going? Have you had these conversations yet? Because if you haven't had those conversations, you should not be saying yes to a ring beforehand.
Absolutely not, no.
So yes, please lean on that good godly community that I hope y'all have. So yes.
Yeah.
Go to your pastors.
No, exactly. And it's I guess moving it into a bit of a different sphere is like, I mean, that is pre-marriage counselling, top tier. Got to do it. Absolutely. Because I mean, if you're signing up literally to spend your life with another person. And gosh, I mean, and you said even too, what did you say? It's 6 months in.
6 months in. I reckon if someone's been dating for 6 months, you need to have already chatted with your pastors or go and have a chat with them.
Yeah.
Like
where's
seriously.
this relationship going?
Yep.
Are we getting married or what?
Yep.
Like
I think by a year. Look, these are just rules of thumb for me, but if you don't know by a year, I think it's time to call some stuff.
I think I think you're right, because if you don't know by a year, I think that in itself should be an answer.
Yes.
And they're not the person for you.
Yeah.
And then if that's the case, then you are just wasting time. You're wasting your time. You're wasting their time.
Yep.
And as painful as it is to have those conversations sometimes when they're not the one, they do need to happen.
Yep. Agree. So yes, call on the godly people in your life. You're not supposed to do it alone.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Like they say, it takes a village to raise a family, or raise a kid, and it also takes a village to stay in a marriage as well. And this is from someone who's not married.
Man,
but it could not be truer. But anyway, good chats, ladies. Good chats.
Hey,
good chats.
Very good.
Good chats. All right, let's get back into it now. You're with Leah and the girls upstairs. This is the Young Escape. Oh, I like that one. I haven't heard that.
That was fun.
That's vibey. Ryan Hilton, new music there with True here on V180. You're with Leah and the girls upstairs. And ladies, that's time for us.
We just got into the good music.
I know, man. I know. We're just getting on a roll with our marriage conversations.
So we can chat more later.
Yeah. We will. The conversations will keep flowing, even though the mics may be off, but that's okay. Before we go, guys, stay safe, stay awesome, live different. But Grace, you have a verse for us to cap off with?
I do. 1 Peter 4:8, ESV version. Above all, keeping one another keep loving one another earnestly, since love covers a multitude of sins.
Testify.
That's a good one.
That is a good one. A very good one. Definitely one to ponder as we continue on through Marriage Week. All right, friends, until next week, stay safe, stay awesome, and live different. And yeah. Okay, bye, guys.
Bye.
Vision 180.
Live different.
Different.